baby finds skinny German shepherd stuck in wall. Then police arrives. The story began on an ordinary night that soon unraveled into something extraordinary. Liam Carter, a 5-year-old boy with a sensitivity beyond his years, awoke in his new bedroom to a faint, heartbreaking whimper. The sound, thin and almost imperceptible, came from within the wall itself, while others might dismiss it as creaky pipes or the groans of an old Victorian house. Liam knew better. The cries pulled at his heart as if they were calling only to him. By morning, Liam was desperate to make his parents believe him. But to Olivia and Daniel Carter, loving yet pragmatic parents, the idea that a dog was trapped inside their newly purchased home's wall was unimaginable. They attributed it to their son's vivid imagination, an adjustment to the new house perhaps. Yet Liam's insistence grew stronger by the day. His drawings at kindergarten, depicting a trapped German shepherd, his eyes dark with worry. His parents humored him, at first offering to listen at the wall alongside him, but heard nothing. Still, Liam would not be swayed. He left offerings, bowls of water crackers, and whispered promises to the unseen creature. "I'll get you out, I promise." Days later, Olivia began to doubt herself. Strange vibrations ran through the wall exactly where Liam indicated. When pressed for an explanation, Liam simply said, "She's scared, Mommy. She's running out of time." Driven by a mix of maternal instinct and unease, Olivia began digging into the house's history. What she found chilled her. The previous owner, Edward Morrison, had mysteriously vanished 8 months prior, along with his beloved dog, a German shepherd named Luna. The puzzle pieces began to form a terrifying image. At dinner that evening, Liam's eyes welled with tears as he pleaded again, "Please help her. She's so tired now." His certainty was unnerving. Daniel, no longer able to dismiss his son's pleas, retrieved a stud finder. His search led him to a corner of Liam's bedroom, where the readings suggested an anomaly, a hollow chamber, where there should have been solid wall. That night, Daniel and Olivia sat awake, questioning everything. Could their son truly sense something they couldn't? Could a dog really be sealed behind that wall alive after all this time? The next morning, with mounting trepidation, Daniel set to work dismantling a section of the wall. As the drywall cracked and crumbled under his tools, the air turned heavy with anticipation. Then a gasp, a small dark chamber appeared, and in its depths, barely moving, was a skeletal form covered in matted fur. Liam rushed forward before anyone could stop him, his small voice breaking as he whispered Luna. At the sound of his voice, the dog stirred. Her eyes, sunken yet glimmering with recognition, found the boy's face. Against all odds, she was alive. Their nightmare had only just begun. The aftermath of Luna's discovery sent shockwaves through the Carter household. Olivia and Daniel rushed to contact a veterinarian, desperate to stabilize the skeletal dog, whose very survival defied logic. Liam never left Luna's side, gently cradling her bony head, whispering reassurances as if she could understand every word, and perhaps she could. Dr. Rebecca Martinez arrived swiftly, her experienced eyes widening at Luna's condition. "This is one of the worst cases of neglect I've ever seen," she murmured, as she examined the trembling dog. What startled her most was Luna's responsiveness to Liam. Despite her weakness, Luna lifted her head every time Liam spoke, and her ragged tail thumped at his touch. As Dr. Martinez worked to stabilize Luna for transport, reporters and neighbors began to swarm outside. Word of the miraculous discovery had spread quickly. Local news vans lined the curb, eager to uncover how a 5-year-old boy had uncovered a living secret buried in his own bedroom wall. Inside the house, Detective James Wilson arrived, drawn by the strange case. His curiosity deepened as he questioned Olivia and Daniel. How did Liam know this isn't something a child could simply imagine? Olivia could only shake her head. He insisted from the beginning. He said she was crying, and he called her Luna before we ever knew the dog's name. That night, the family's quiet home transformed into the epicenter of a growing media frenzy. Liam, however, seemed unfazed. His sole concern was Luna. "She's still thirsty," he told Dr. Martinez in a whisper, as the veterinarian administered fluids. Once at the veterinary clinic, Luna's condition remained precarious. Dr. Martinez took every precaution, but even she doubted whether the German Shepherd could pull through. Yet Liam's presence had a remarkable effect. Luna's heart rate stabilized when he was near, and she accepted treatment more calmly. Reporters camped outside the clinic, broadcasting updates to an increasingly captivated public. Social media exploded with speculation. Some believed Liam possessed a psychic connection to animals. Others dismissed it as coincidence. Meanwhile, Detective Wilson continued his investigation, uncovering more about Edward Morrison. The former owner's journals hinted at paranoia and delusions entries, detailing how he believed his own dog was spying on him for sinister forces. The journals ended abruptly, suggesting Morrison had built the wall himself as part of a plan to contain Luna forever. Back at the clinic, Liam remained steadfast. He brought drawings for Luna, sang softly while she slept, and even helped Dr. Martinez during exams. Luna's progress, though slow, astonished everyone. Her eyes regained clarity, her appetite returned, and she took her first tentative steps only days after her rescue. But something deeper simmered beneath the surface. Liam began speaking of things he could not have known: details about Morrison's disappearance, about Luna's fear and loneliness during her confinement. He insisted that Luna was showing him memories. One evening, Detective Wilson paid another visit to the clinic, this time sitting beside Liam as Luna slept nearby. "Liam," he asked gently, "how did you really know she was there?" Liam tilted his head thoughtfully. "Luna told me. She couldn't speak out loud, but I could hear her anyway. She was waiting for me." His simple answer unsettled the detective more than any complex explanation could have. For the first time in his career, Wilson felt that logic alone might not solve this mystery. The press caught wind of Liam's extraordinary sensitivity and dubbed him the Dog Whisperer. The nickname stuck, cementing Liam's place in public fascination. Yet the boy himself remained humble and focused. Each day as Luna grew stronger, Liam whispered promises to her. "You're safe now. I'll never let you be trapped again." Outside, as the media circus continued, the bond between Liam and Luna deepened into something that neither science nor skepticism could easily explain. Luna's slow recovery marked a turning point, not only in her life, but in Liam's as well. The boy's unwavering dedication became the heart of every news story that followed. The local community rallied to support them, donating to cover medical costs and sending letters of encouragement. Yet amid the goodwill, curiosity persisted. How could a 5-year-old sense what no adult could? Even Detective Wilson, seasoned and skeptical, found himself wondering. At the clinic, Liam sat beside Luna's kennel for hours. When she was well enough to walk, he accompanied her around the small yard behind the clinic, always keeping pace with her frail steps. Dr. Martinez observed silently, taking notes for an article she planned to write on the phenomenon. "I've never seen anything like this," she admitted one evening to Olivia. "It's as though Liam isn't just comforting her. He's translating her pain into something we can all understand." But Liam's sensitivity soon extended beyond Luna. One day, while sketching quietly on a pad, he drew a picture that startled everyone, an image of the abandoned fish processing plant at the riverfront. When questioned, Liam insisted, "Luna showed me. There are dogs trapped there too." The claim sent chills down Olivia's spine. Detective Wilson hesitated, but remembered how precisely Liam had predicted details about Luna. Acting on a hunch, he ordered a discreet check of the location. The officers who entered found an illegal kennel, half-starved dogs locked in cages, many sick or injured. A puppy, barely alive, lay curled in one corner, her condition desperate. Word spread swiftly. Liam's visions had led to another rescue. The press hailed him as a hero. "The boy who listens to animals" became the tagline that followed every story. But Liam paid no attention to the growing fame. His focus remained on Luna and the rescued dogs, especially the puppy whom he named Hope. "She's scared like Luna was," he told Dr. Martinez, "but she wants to get better." That night, while Liam slept at home, his dreams turned vivid and strange. He saw not only hope, but glimpses of a child, a girl trapped in the kennel's memory who had once cared for the dogs before vanishing. When Liam described this girl the next day, Detective Wilson's interest piqued. No one had mentioned a child being connected to the kennel. "How do you know this?" the detective asked. "Hope told me," Liam replied simply. Skeptical but intrigued, Wilson dug deeper. His investigation uncovered reports of a missing girl whose father had run the illegal kennel. Liam's description of her matched perfectly. As Wilson reopened the cold case, he couldn't help but recognize that this 5-year-old boy was becoming an indispensable part of his investigation. Back at the clinic, Luna and Hope began their slow journey toward recovery, guided by Liam's constant companionship. Dr. Martinez often remarked that the two dogs seemed to draw strength from his presence. "His empathy is unlike anything I've ever witnessed," she confided to Olivia and Daniel. Even the toughest skeptics among the reporters began to soften. One headline read, "A child's heart leads where law and logic fail." But not everyone welcomed this attention. Commentators online debated whether Liam's gift was real or an invention of over-imaginative journalism. Some accused the family of exploiting the boy's sensitivity for fame. Through it all, Liam remained unaffected. Each evening he sat with Luna, quietly whispering to her. "They don't understand," he would murmur, "but I do, and I'll never stop listening." The discovery of the abandoned kennel at the fish processing plant had ignited a media storm. Reporters camped outside the Carter home and the veterinary clinic, eager for any glimpse of the boy with the mysterious gift. Social media was flooded with hashtags like Liam Listens and Hope for Hope, while opinion pieces speculated whether Liam possessed some paranormal ability or if the bond between children and animals was deeper than science understood. But for Liam, none of that mattered. His only concern was hope. The puppy, barely past weaning, clung to life under Dr. Martinez's round-the-clock care. Her condition had stabilized, but she remained fragile. Every day Liam visited her, sitting quietly by her incubator, whispering words only she could hear. One afternoon, as Liam stroked Luna's fur in the clinic yard, his brow furrowed. Olivia, watching from a distance, noticed his sudden stillness. "What is it, sweetie?" she asked, approaching him. "Hope showed me something last night," Liam replied. "A little girl. She was there. She tried to help the dogs. She gave them water and cried when they were hurt. Her name is Sophie." The name made Olivia pause. The police had never mentioned a Sophie, but Liam's track record couldn't be ignored. Dr. Martinez listened intently when Liam described the dream. She wore a pink coat with a torn sleeve, dark braids. Her dad yelled at her a lot, but she loved the dogs, especially Hope. That detail, the emotional nuance, the specifics, prompted Martinez to call Detective Wilson. "This is becoming routine," he muttered over the phone, masking the unease in his voice. "A kid dreamt it, so we investigate." But he followed the lead. Cross-referencing names connected to the kennel uncovered Victor Reyes, the man believed to have run the operation. He had a daughter, 8 years old, missing since the raid. Wilson's demeanor changed. He arrived at the Carter home the next day, looking unusually grave. "Liam," he asked gently, "can you tell me anything else about Sophie?" Liam nodded. "She's scared, but she's not hurt, not yet. They're staying in a place with green curtains. There's a loud machine outside, like a truck, but it doesn't move." Wilson scribbled the clues in his notebook. An idling generator, he guessed aloud. The department issued an Amber Alert that night. Meanwhile, Hope began to show signs of improvement. She licked Liam's fingers through the enclosure and yelped softly when he left. Dr. Martinez noted that her vitals stabilized significantly when Liam was near. Reporters continued to clamor for interviews. Offers flooded in from morning shows, news magazines, even a documentary producer. Daniel Carter fielded the calls, deflecting attention with polite refusals. "He's just a child," he told them all. "Let him be one." Still, the pressure mounted. Online skeptics accused the family of manipulating the narrative. Pundits speculated Liam was being coached, but those who met him in person saw something else, a boy with a calm intensity, more observant than talkative, whose compassion radiated like warmth in the cold logic of adult cynicism. Late one evening, as the house quieted, Liam sat with Luna curled at his feet. He whispered, "I know why she cries, Sophie. It's like when you are alone in the wall, she feels forgotten." Luna lifted her head and nudged his hand gently. The next morning, Wilson called with an update. A motel clerk in a town 2 hours away had recognized Sophie from the Amber Alert. Police were dispatched. When they arrived, they found the girl alone, scared but unharmed. Her father had fled hours before. Wilson brought Sophie to the clinic to meet Hope. When she entered the room, the puppy perked up weakly, wagging her tail for the first time since her rescue. Sophie dropped to her knees, tears spilling freely. "I thought I'd never see you again," she sobbed, burying her face in Hope's fur. Liam stood back, watching the reunion in silence. Dr. Martinez and Olivia exchanged a look. It was more than coincidence. Detective Wilson crouched beside Liam. "You helped us find her. You helped save them all." Liam shrugged. "They told me. I just listened." The clinic was unusually quiet the next morning. Dr. Martinez stood over Hope's enclosure, checking the monitors as Sophie sat curled in a chair nearby, one hand pressed to the glass. Liam was late, for the first time in weeks. When he finally arrived with Olivia, he looked tired. His shoulders sagged under the weight of something unspoken. "Are you okay, sweetheart?" Olivia asked softly. Liam didn't answer immediately. He walked straight to Luna, who greeted him with a low wag of her tail and placed his hand on her head. "She's not finished," he whispered. "Hope. She wants Sophie to be safe, but that place, it's still out there. The bad man had friends." Dr. Martinez turned alarmed. "Are you saying there's another site?" Liam nodded slowly. "Hope remembers the smell. Diesel. And something sharp, like blood but mixed with rust. She says there's another building, more cages." Daniel and Olivia exchanged a glance. "We should call Wilson," Daniel said, already pulling out his phone. Detective Wilson didn't question it this time. He arrived an hour later, files in hand, and sat across from Liam in the break room. "Where's this place, buddy?" he asked gently. Liam closed his eyes. "Near a train. I can hear it rumble. There's a big red X on the wall, and the roof has holes light shines through like stars." Wilson nodded slowly. "I think I know the place. An old railway warehouse by the switching yard. Been abandoned for years. That afternoon, a task force raided the location. Inside were 10 more dogs. Some were chained, some caged. All were neglected. 2 were barely alive." Hope's memories had been real. The headlines screamed again, "Boy's vision leads to second rescue." The media storm reignited fiercer than before. Even major networks sent reporters. Liam became the center of an ethical debate. Should a child with gifts be used in investigations? Was this extraordinary intuition or exploitation? The Carters tried to shield Liam. They declined interviews, turned away documentary crews, and moved temporarily to a friend's house outside the city. But people found them anyway. Letters arrived from all over the country. Some were heartfelt thank yous. Others were unnerving claims that Liam was a prophet, or worse, an experiment. Dr. Martinez stood firm. "He's a child, a kind-hearted boy who listens better than most adults. That's all the explanation I need." Still, the scrutiny took a toll. Liam withdrew. He spent more time with Luna, speaking less. Even Sophie noticed. "Are you sad because people are mean?" she asked one day. Liam shook his head. "I'm sad because there are more places, more dogs. I hear them. I can't find them all." Sophie sat beside him. "But you helped me. You helped Hope. That matters." He looked at her, his eyes unusually serious. "What if it's not enough?" "Maybe it's not about finding them all," she said quietly. "Maybe it's about helping the ones we can." That night, Liam dreamed of a quiet field. No barking, no cages. just open sky and dogs running free. He woke up smiling, and for the first time in weeks he didn't hear anyone crying. The weeks that followed were filled with equal parts healing and curiosity. Luna was gaining strength rapidly. Hope, the once skeletal pup, now followed Sophie around with a playful bounce her tail, a wagging metronome of joy. Liam had returned to school, where his classmates now treated him with a mix of awe and envy. But to Liam, none of it mattered. Not the media buzz, not the special invitations, not even the praise from adults who had once dismissed him. What mattered was Luna, and what Luna had been trying to say. Liam's dreams grew stranger, more vivid. He saw not just memories, but feelings wrapped in images, emotions so strong they made him wake up breathless. At first they were about the rescued dogs, the cages, the pain. But then the images changed. A park, a small brown dog lying beneath a bench, a whimper that pierced through the noise of traffic and life. He told Olivia, who listened this time, with a seriousness she once reserved for emergency meetings. "It's not Luna this time," Liam said, forehead furrowed. "It's someone else. I think they're close. I think it's soon." Daniel, now fully accepting of Liam's gift, didn't argue. "We'll go to the park," he said. "We'll take Luna. We'll look." The following Saturday, the Carters arrived at Riverbend Park. Liam walked slowly, eyes closed, part of the way, letting Luna guide him. They passed by playgrounds, families, joggers. Nothing unusual, until Luna stopped. She barked, once sharp alert. Beneath a bench shaded by a gnarled oak tree, they found a small brown mutt, thin, shivering, her eyes cloudy as if she'd lost hope long ago. Liam knelt beside her, holding out his hand. Luna laid beside him, calm and watchful. The dog's tag read Maya. Daniel called animal control, but Olivia already knew what Liam would say. "We'll take her to Dr. Martinez. She needs to come with us." Maya's condition was not dire like Luna's or Hope's had been, but the trauma, the emotional shutdown, was intense. "She's not just sick," Dr. Martinez observed. "She's broken. Something's gone quiet in her. She's still speaking," Liam said quietly, but in whispers. The vet turned to look at him. "What is she whispering?" "She doesn't want to be a burden." Dr. Martinez's face softened. "She's not." Over the next few days, Maya began to eat slowly. Luna took to her like an old friend. Hope bounded after her as if to cheer her up. But it was Liam who spent the most time with her, sitting, listening, whispering back. The media began to push harder. A major news network offered an exclusive. A children's book publisher contacted the Carters. One network even suggested a reality show. Olivia and Daniel refused all of them. "He's 5, Olivia said simply. "Not a brand, but the world wouldn't stop watching." And that meant new attention, some of it darker. One evening, Daniel opened the mail and found a letter with no return address. It read, "He's not the only one. There are more. We've seen the signs, but they keep us quiet. Protect the boy." They showed the letter to Detective Wilson, who had since become a family friend. He didn't dismiss it. "There's talk," he said, leaning against the Carters' kitchen counter, "among officers, about how Liam knew what he knew. Some want to believe, others, not so much." "What do we do?" Olivia asked. "Keep him close, keep him safe, and let him lead. He's done well with that so far." Meanwhile, Liam and Luna were forming something new, a kind of bridge. Maya was the first to cross it fully. One day she barked sharply at the window. When they looked outside, there was nothing. But 10 minutes later, a neighbor ran over our cat. She was trapped in a storm drain. But she's okay now, just got her out. Weirdest thing, I felt like I should check, out of nowhere. Dr. Martinez didn't laugh anymore when these things happened. "They feel through him," she said one night to Daniel. "It's not just translation. He's a conduit." A week later, Liam woke with a start. "We need to go back," he said, "to where Luna was." Olivia was hesitant. "Why, honey? There's something we missed." That afternoon, they drove back to the Morrison house. The new owners had agreed to let them visit. Liam walked to the old basement wall, now completely removed. He stood quietly, pressing his hand against the cold cement. "Something else is here," he whispered. Luna whined lowly. He turned suddenly. "A journal. There's one more." They searched the basement again. It was Daniel who found it wedged behind a pipe. Inside, more erratic writings. But one page stood out. A drawing. It showed a group of dogs standing around a boy. In the sky above them, strange symbols. Below the bridge between mines, a child opens the gate. Dr. Martinez was shown the page. Her response was simple. He was sick, but maybe not wrong. Liam began receiving letters from other children. Some claimed they'd talked to animals too. One girl said her rabbit told her when her grandmother would die. Another said she heard birds speak in dreams. Olivia and Daniel read every letter with care. Most were innocent, some not. They created a folder labeled sensitive and another possible. Then came the day Liam didn't speak at all. He just sat with Luna, silent, eyes closed. Dr. Martinez was called. She arrived and examined him. "Physically he's fine," she said, "but his mind is somewhere else." Olivia was panicked. "What does that mean?" "I think he's listening to something very far away." After 2 hours, Liam opened his eyes. "There's a fire," he said. "Where?" "Somewhere with dry air. Pine trees. A white trailer. A dog named Bingo is trapped." They called Wilson, who hesitated, then put out a quiet call to nearby counties. 2 hours later, news broke of a fire in Oregon. A rescue crew saved a dog. His name was Bingo. He'd been trapped inside a trailer. Wilson didn't call this time. He just showed up with ice cream and a stare that lasted too long. "What do we do with this?" he asked Olivia. She didn't have an answer. No one did. But Liam kept listening. Luna kept translating, and the world kept watching. One day, when Luna was finally running at full speed, Liam raced her across the park. Hope barked excitedly. Maya walked behind them, calm, content. The miracle wasn't in the fame. It wasn't in the television segments or books or articles. It was in this, a boy and his dogs, moving through the world, healing it one whisper at a time. 6 months had passed since Liam and Luna uncovered the horrors hidden within the red-doored building. The media storm had quieted, but the world had not forgotten. News outlets still occasionally referred to Liam as the boy who listens, a child whose unexplainable bond with animals had led to the salvation of dozens of lives. But for Liam, life was just normal, or as normal as it could be when your best friend was a dog who communicated through feelings, images, and the kind of silence that spoke louder than words. Each morning he'd sit with Luna before school, holding her paw and watching the sunrise. They didn't always need to talk. Sometimes she would blink slowly at him, and Liam would nod, understanding something that no one else could hear. Then came the invitation, a letter stamped with the seal of the Department of Animal Welfare and Mental Health Research. It wasn't just a thank you, it was a request. Would Liam and Luna be willing to participate in a special initiative? A team of researchers, scientists, therapists, and veterinarians had joined forces to study emotional trauma in rescue animals. But progress was slow. Many animals, especially those rescued from abusive environments, weren't responding to traditional rehabilitation methods. "We believe Liam's presence might help," the letter read. "We don't fully understand how, but he has done what our methods could not." Olivia and Daniel hesitated. Exposing their son to more trauma, even in the name of healing, wasn't a decision they took lightly. But Liam surprised them. "I want to go," he said softly, without a hint of fear. "Luna says they're scared like she was, and scared dogs talk louder than happy ones, just not with their mouths." And so the next chapter began. At a sanctuary nestled in the Colorado foothills, Liam and Luna met Rocco, a massive Rottweiler who had bitten every handler that came near. He was a veteran of a fighting ring, scarred, silent, and perpetually curled in the farthest corner of his kennel. The staff watched in alarm as Liam entered the enclosure alone. Olivia's heart skipped a beat. But Luna went in first, calm and sure, and laid down at a distance, not intruding, just waiting. Liam sat a few feet away, cross-legged. He said nothing. Minutes passed, then an hour. Then, without warning, Rocco crawled forward. Not wagging, not playful, just curious. He sniffed the airlocked eyes with Liam and whined, barely audible. "He's tired of fighting," Liam said gently. "He misses his brother. They took him away first." Rocco didn't get to say goodbye. The handlers blinked, stunned. They hadn't told Liam about Rocco's bonded sibling who had died 2 months before during transport. Liam simply nodded at the big dog. "I'll sit here with you. You don't have to be alone." It became a pattern. Liam and Luna worked miracles where adults could not. Not with commands or clinical notes, but with presence, patience, and an uncanny ability to listen beyond language. Soon Liam's name was whispered in veterinary circles. Behaviorists sought his insights, and traumatized animals healed. But Liam remained humble. "I'm not special," he once told a reporter. "I just didn't forget how to listen." And as Luna laid her head on his knee, eyes content, it was clear whatever this gift was. Mysterious, silent, unseen, it was real. And it was only just beginning.